If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's have some fun tonight. Yo, GMS fam. What's going on, everybody? Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? How y'all feeling, man? We are back again with another episode of the GMS Show. I wanted to have some fun, man. I know I got some comedy fans out there who want to talk some comedy, who want to talk some of the GOATs. I know this one right here ruffles some feathers. What's up, One Fast Star, Brim Dog, Wonder Man, High Def, Black Man, America, Arius, Allen, Zen Master, and from New York. What's going on, y'all? We are here. Let me get off the Wi-Fi on my phone. Just to be good. No interruptions whatsoever. How y'all doing, man? Peace and love, positive energy, all that great shit. We gonna have some fun, man. Now save y'all votes for the end, because I want to have a conversation first. I know a lot of y'all gonna say who y'all want to say right now, but we ain't at that part yet. We gonna have all y'all say that shit at the end. All right, so save it for the end. Right now, let's talk about these specials, because I know even though some of y'all have y'all choice on who you feel is the better comedian, there's still things that you like about both these comedians and their stand-ups. And what we're going to do is go through these stand-ups each. And I'm not going to spend too much time on them, but I'm going to name off the different specials between Katt and Kevin. And we're going to talk about some of our favorite parts from there and just kind of compare and contrast from the similar years of them dropping these. So just know that it's going to be one of those. And if I got some real comedy fans in here, trust me, you're going to want to stay for this, because we not just going to talk about their specials. We're going to bring in the beef and how that started, what went on with them, what was said, different things that was going on, and even up till today, because Katt has said some things recently which has brought me to why I even labeled this a versus, because he has brought that up recently about a versus between him and Kevin, which he has in the past before. Matter of fact, Katt is the first person to ever talk about a versus between anybody before versus was even a versus. He said he wanted to do a comedy battle with Kevin and he wanted to put the money up and all types of shit. I know y'all remember that. We're going to get to there too. But But let's talk about the specials, okay? Now, let me read them off to you guys. I'm going to read these off to you guys. First, we're going to do Kevin's. He has, I'm a grown little man. Seriously funny. Laugh at my pain. Let me explain what now and irresponsible. For Katt, we have Pimp Chronicles 1, Pimp Chronicles 2, American Hustle, Katt Apocalypse, It's Pimpin', Great America, Katt Williams Live, and Priceless Afterlife. All right? Now, what I want to do is go through Kevin's first. So everybody knows that I'm a Grown Little Man is one of the breakouts for Kevin right there. Breakout special, everybody got to know, really got to, kind of got to know who Kevin was. There's still a lot of people who didn't know, but he was becoming a cult name in the culture with I'm a Grown Little Man. And also the prominent things that came from that. People still use the memes from that from that special. What are some of the things y'all remember from that special? I know for one, he had just had his kids, so he had great kid material. He had the material of his kids, you know, his son with the neck, all that type of shit. That's when the whole loose neck shit came. He was more raw with his comedy too, with the things that he was saying. He was a little bit more loose when it came to the way that he was speaking on stage, and it kind of gave that raw feeling. Like, yeah, of course, he wasn't as raw as Katt was, but he still had that shit to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kevin still was out there killing it on stage. He knew how to work his jokes. He created, or we, as the new generation coming up, created memes out of that special. If y'all know what I mean, if you go back to that special, you know that a lot of the faces that Kevin was making, that shit, that's a whole meme that people still use today. There's a lot of things that is prominent from that. What do y'all remember from that? This shit, he said this shit right here. Kevin sure as hell died it down a little bit after these couple specials, especially after saying things that aren't politically correct. The one says, can I say that Kev comedy resonates more with females because that's who kept trying to turn me on to him? Oh, okay, I get that. Ben Slim said Kev's roast material is good. Yeah, it is. Kevin's great. It's him and all his friends. First of all, I love watching him and the Plastic Cup Boys go back and forth because it ain't nothing like seeing people who are genuine friends go back and forth and like really just forget that they on air type shit. Like, I don't know if y'all have seen the radio show that they've done on the Laugh Out Loud network is Kevin and the Plastic Cup Boys, but that shit is hilarious, man. Every episode is just funny as hell. They gel together too. High Def said his first two stand-ups was his best. They always say that I'm a Grown Little Man and Seriously Funny were some of Kevin's best stand-ups, and I think that was because it was around the time where shit wasn't being canceled. See, that was in 2009 and 2010. You got to remember around that time, motherfuckers was still saying what they really wanted to say on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was still able to say some shit. Seriously Funny. Matter of fact, I don't even think they still got that on Netflix still. I tried to search for it. They don't have it, but Seriously Funny was that shit that really pushed him into the, like, everybody really, really knowing, okay, now he has some really notable jokes and shit that people was going around like, hey, did you hear that? Did you hear what Kev said? Did you hear blah, 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 all that type of shit? That's when the word started getting around and people was quoting his jokes. Ari said, I feel like Kevin is more safe with his comedy recently. Yep. Player for Life says, what up, AP? He said, Kevin is corny, but his first few stand-ups are classic. Yep. What up, Lady Aries? What up, Lovelace? One Fast Star said, yeah, that's when I was fucking with Kev. Then them folks gave him that bag and he went their route. Now he friendly and died down. Yeah, we gonna get into that. We got more specials to go. So y'all say his first two specials, which were I'm a Grown Little Man and Seriously Funny, are his best stand-up specials to date. Is that what y'all saying? Ben Slim said most recently only Kev that remember is the checking and saving account joke. Oh, okay. I remember that too. And from New York said Kev work ethic better than his comedy. Yeah, that is a fact. That is a fact. Now it goes a long way when you have strong work ethic in the business. If you outwork everybody, it don't matter how talented this person is. If you outworking them, something's gonna happen more for you than the other person. That's just kind of how it goes if you outwork somebody. And I say that because me being an artist, seeing a bunch of dudes that I know are trash, that I know I'm better than, making it out there, it's because they worked harder than me. Simple as that. They had more work ethic. They put in more time. They put in more effort. They put in more whatever. They studied the social media game or whatever the case may be. That's really what's happening out here. People just kind of using the social media to their advantage, using certain gimmicks to their advantage, and that's cool. That's not me. Now, what do y'all think about Laugh at My Pain? I thought Laugh at My Pain was really good. And yeah, Kev let some F-bombs drop in the first stand-up he did, I'm a Grown Little Man. But it's like, if he hasn't said it in his other stand-ups, what is he apologizing for? Like, I hate it when that shit happened. Like, that was a whole thing. And that's how that, now, talking about trying to destroy a man's legacy because they really didn't have shit on Kevin at the time. They wanted to use that past joke as a way to demonize him and have him out here crawling on his fucking knees trying to beg for forgiveness from some shit that was fucking hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said some funny shit. It was funny. Everybody laughed. I bet you somebody who was gay in the crowd laughed because it was fucking funny to them. But, you know, society has changed that, especially for people who get huge out here. Monica, what up, Monica? She said, I know a lot of people don't think Kev is funny, but I think he's funny. Yeah, I think Kev is hilarious. I honestly think Kev is hilarious. This is why we're having this conversation as well. Ben Slim said, once a comedian apologized for a joke, I lose respect. Got to stand by that shit. Yeah, and then his position is mostly what made him apologize. You know, if you pay attention to Kevin, you can tell he doesn't really give a shit about a lot of things besides, like, being successful. So I think that was just part of his giving a shit about staying and remaining successful, which some people's integrity is different. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not trying to apologize or if I'm not apologetic for some shit I said, I'm not going to apologize for it. And if people are out here acting fake outrage, which that's what it is, when you put it that way, he didn't recently offend nobody. Somebody went back and they chose to go back to one of his old specials and put that shit out there. You chose to go and look up some shit that you knew you didn't like. That's on you. I don't give a fuck about that. That's all I got to say about that. I don't agree with apologizing for jokes, especially when the joke is legit. What up, Mickey Knox? He said Kevin is whack. So I mean, what do y'all think? Laugh at My Pain? Y'all didn't like Laugh at My Pain or what? Yeah, the apology tour is too much. And save who you pick for the end. Save who you pick for the end. We gonna get to there. I'm gonna ask all of y'all to do a vote, and we all gonna vote at the end. I most likely I'm gonna know the outcome, but we gonna do it anyway, just for shits and fucking giggles, dog. Ben Slim said he sacrificed his integrity for some fame. I'm cool. Anarchy said Kevin's most recent stand-up, he had to apologize for everything. Yeah, exactly. That was the apology stand-up special. It was really awkward because he even put like, I feel like he was forcing some shit too. His most recent stand-up, when he did it in his house, it seemed very forced. Like that. I thought the brick oven pizza shit was like funny, but it wasn't like over the top funny. It's like making it like a real like prominent joke inside of his set. You know what I mean? Like he was forcing it. If you go back, if you guys haven't watched it, because I know some people strayed away from his comedy specials, but go and watch his most recent one, Irresponsible, and you'll see what I mean. He told a brick oven pizza joke and like kind of made it he made it more than what it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? It was only supposed to be funny for the moment, but he kind of made it a thing. And it was just like, nah, man. We need some other shit. I get it. I understand. Uh, and it started with let me explain. It started with let me explain. He felt like he had to explain some shit. Let me explain was funny as hell too. Don't get me wrong. But laugh at my pain, y'all gotta understand the jokes he did with about his dad was timeless. Now that was the laugh at my pain era. The jokes he made about his dad was like that was the butt of the jokes then. When he introduced his dad, like really introduced his dad to the world through his comedy special, through that stand-up, that was amazing. I thought that shit was actually very fucking funny. That's how I felt about that. What now? That was very theatrical. He kind of used his now his new stardom, his new fame, and new cinema notoriety to kind of make his special more of a movie in the beginning, more so than actually being you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Great idea. I mean, I love when this is the thing. Me being an artist, I love when people put their ideas out there. I love when people can create their own ideas and don't just go along with what somebody told them to do. You could tell that Kevin really wanted to do something like that because it seemed very Kevin-ish. You know, he had the Halle Berry cameo. He had his boys in there. He had Don Cheadle in there. It was cool. It was just like, I feel like he just went really theatrical with What Now. And it was like, you should have just made a movie. And I like not really even get to the and he, added the effects and he wanted more. And Kev is kind of physical with his comedy, but he's not Katt Williams physical comedy. Katt will throw himself all up and down the stage to get his point across and not miss a beat or lose a breath. It's very hard to do that. It's very hard to do that as a professional, to maintain your energy, your breath for however long you're up there, most likely an hour, over an hour, and then can repeatedly just throw yourself back and forth. Like, trust me, like the performers these days, like a lot of people set the bar high back in the day, which is why it looks crazy when you just see some like artists out here just walking back and forth, lazy as fuck, hardly rapping, because it's like there are real performers out there. People who will leave it all on the fucking stage. Katt is one of those people who will leave it all on the stage. Katt is profusely sweating by the first 2 minutes of his set. And no, it's not drugs. It's because he's actually doing that much on his set. We all remember when, matter of fact, let's get to that now. Now we're going to get to Katt specials. Pimp Chronicles 1, 2006. Had a lot of iconic jokes. A lot of iconic jokes. This is a great segue. Great segue. He put a lot of shit in people's ears. Like I said, with Kevin's stand-up, that the first couple stand-ups he had, there's a lot of prominent memes and pictures and different quotes that you have from that. From this special, though, this right here, nigga, a lot. Very classic. Very timeless. Pimp Chronicles 1 is one of those stomach clenching, losing breath type laughters that when you first see it, you just like, how is this even possible to be that funny? How is it possible to be that funny? And I mean like naturally funny. Because you can tell that Katt Williams is somebody who's naturally funny. There are comedians who study this shit and have a whole formula, and then there's those who are just naturally fucking funny. And that will just make you laugh. Like, Dave Chappelle is a naturally funny person. I always talk about this every chance I get. There is a special, not even a special, it's something on YouTube right now that's like fucking 4 hours long of Dave Chappelle popping up at a comedy spot late at night. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and he spent 4 hours there. I'm telling you, he kept these people there until the sun came up and just freestyled the entire time. Regular conversation, threw some jokes in, made people laugh, said some deep shit, said some real important shit. If y'all ever get the time on the weekend or whatever time you have to sit and watch that, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. It's one of the best best things Dave Chappelle ever did early on in his career too. This was after all the Africa shit. This was when people were still contemplating whether or not he was coming back to comedy. He was just popping up at random spots. And he went to this place, and it was just amazing, bro. It was amazing. Pimp Chronicles 1, he basically ended niggas' careers in Chrysler 300s. He said, quit stunting in Chrysler 300s, talking about it looked like a Phantom. No, he made niggas take them grills off immediately. As soon as that joke hit the world, motherfuckers was in their garage taking their Phantom grills off of their Chrysler's 300s with a quickness, fam. And the energy, like I said, the energy, the way that he uses physical comedy, the way that, so I heard somebody say this, and I heard it recently, which made me go back to watch some of the shit that he did because it made so much sense. Somebody said he perfected the stool game. Given Katt's stature, he was able to do a lot of things with a stool and was able to create a lot of images for people and was able to use it with his stand-up and many of his bits to where it worked to his advantage. And I love it. So Wonder Man says, some comedians have said they've seen Dave bomb on stage just working out material. Yeah, this is why I said watch it, because this is technically a bomb. Like, this was a bomb that happened with Dave Chappelle. It was a total bomb. He wasn't there to do a set. Like, he wasn't there to just continuously make people laugh. It would be considered a bomb, but it was something that you would want to sit and listen to because it was like you were in on the conversation. AP said Dave Chappelle is overrated and a fight comes with that. Yeah, I would say so. Dave Chappelle is not overrated by a long shot. I will not ever in my life call Dave Chappelle overrated or not top tier funniest. For me personally, Dave Chappelle is number one on my list. And that just goes with my generation and who I grew up watching and who I gravitated towards more. Dave Chappelle, Bernie Mac, Katt Williams, Mike Epps, who else, man? Damn. I'm going to go with top 4 because if I name anybody else, it's going to be like, I don't think he really deserves to be in my top 5. I'll say my top 4. Wonder Man said nobody was looking for a stand-ups before the show. Yeah, which is why that was a great thing for him to do. That's nobody's checking for nobody until you do something great. This is what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's what's supposed to happen in a career. You're supposed to do something that pops off and that can display your talents, and then people will recognize who you are. Don Philly said, Kev is funny, but back then he was more funny because he was new and hungry. Yeah, and that's a different type of animal too. When you young and hungry in the business and you want to make sure shit go right, trust me. What else? Oh, we got Pimp Chronicles 2. Pimp Chronicles 2. That was when he opened up. Matter of fact, I love this part. He opened up the movie with him getting in the car, and he told his dog to get in the car. Does anybody remember what he named his dog? If you remember what he named his dog, I'll take a hit of this good greenery right now. What did he name his dog in Pimp Chronicles 2, American Hustle? Do y'all remember? What did Katt Williams call his dog when he was getting in the car? This is great trivia right here. You got to remember the beginning of this to know. Somebody knows it in the chat. Who knows? Shit made me fucking die. I think we share the same dislike for this person too, which is why it's even more funny. Do y'all know? Think about it. Some niggas finna go to the internet try to figure it out. He said, I had that intro bootleg. A lot of people had some of these on bootleg. I definitely had the first couple Kevin stand-ups on bootleg, and that was in 2009, 2010. Nope, not Tink Tink. Somebody we all know. He named it, he called his dog something. It's a woman's name, yep. Not Lil Tink Tink. He said a bent back paperclip. Don't nobody know? I'll tell you. In the beginning of American Hustle, a.k.a. Pimp Chronicles 2, Katt Williams was going to his vehicle, and when he opened the door for his German Shepherd to get in the car, he said, "Up. Get in the car, Wendy. Wendy Williams." There we go. It's your boo. There we go. It's your boo. There we go. He said it right as soon as I said it. It was Wendy fucking Williams. Called him Wendy Williams. That was like, cause like this is why I love this shit, because some people talk about certain individuals, like there'll be celebrities talk about other celebrities, and you don't know how big these people will become, and you don't know how many eyes will be on them. And Wendy has said a lot about people. And at this time, she must have been saying some shit about Katt for Katt to want to put her in his whole special and name his dog. Real quick, just a quick shot. He didn't even have to stay on the topic. He just said, "Come on, Wendy. Wendy Williams, get in the car, Wendy." I was dying. That was hilarious. Now, he had a nice little theatrical beginning. First of all, shout out to Melanie Camacho. Shout out to Red Grant. Shout out to Lunel. Because I honestly, when you see comedians come together, you only see it when you go to see, live stand-ups. I don't really see anybody really come together to really do specials together like that. And all the ones that have happened have been the shit back in the day, the kings of comedy, queens of comedy. And then we got, Kevin Hart, and he got the Plastic Cup Boys. But it's like, when has a lot of people really taken a bunch of comedians and made a special like this and displayed all them like that? Like, Katt is a real nigga for that. Like, he brought Red, he brought Melanie, he brought Lunel on and showcased all their talents in the beginning of his special, because it wasn't just about him. When a stand-up comedian does a special, it's all about them. Katt changed the game with that. And you can say that Kevin learned from that, because what is he doing with the Plastic Cup Boys? Every special he has, or everywhere that he goes to perform, he makes sure those are the people that open for him. And Red Grant is horribly underrated. Red Grant is hilarious, man. Red Grant is a fucking legend. And I mean that. Red Grant is so fucking funny. That dude, and he's one of those people, like I said, when we talked about like horrible laughs, like when we brought up Precise and his laugh and other shit like that, we said there are people out there that have obnoxious laughs that work. Red Grant has the obnoxious laugh that will make his joke go over the top. It don't even have to be a joke that'll hit you. It'll be the laugh at the end of that joke that'll get you like, man, this nigga crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. Let's go to, wait. But first, the one iconic thing that I will say about this. One iconic thing I will say about Pimp Chronicles 2. The intro. Every day I'm hustling. That had to be one of the best intros as far as somebody incorporating their intro music into their actual set. That was top tier shit. And they gave a new life to that song, because at the time, this was what, 2000, that was 2007. Every Day I'm Hustling was lit. It's simple things like that you add into the special that will take your shit over the top. I'm pretty sure Rick Ross saw some good money from that. And not even from the special, just from the fact that people wanted to hear the music and go and gravitate to that song, which also made it timeless. Big J says, what up? I don't know if it's a regional thing, but for many of us here in B-More, Katt Williams, Corey Holcomb are our type of funny all day. Kevin's funny, but mostly meh. I hear that a lot too. And I think it's because of the relatable factor. People feel like they can relate more to these individuals because they are more authentic and more real with their approach and more raw with their comedy and don't really hide behind the mask of the industry. Like there was a time when Katt was being blackballed from the industry because people thought he was causing too much trouble or that he wasn't able to be worked with, when really it was just how Hollywood worked. They don't like having multiple black faces being the leads of a lot of the shit going on. It can only be one. They can only choose one to go and make all these movies and be the spotlight out here, which is why they kind of chose Kevin. He was the safer option. He was ready to, I guess, go along, get along. And that's kind of where that stemmed from. Cat Apocalypse, he talked about this was when he was talking about Obama. This was around the Obama era, and he was getting they were about to send him into outer space. A lot more. It was more political and more religious based. Like he talked a lot more about politics. He talked a lot more about his religion, a lot more about God, a lot more about people that don't believe in God, but it still incorporated it into being funny, which was great. I really enjoyed that. Jason Voorhees said, Kevin Hart performed in the most ghetto bar in my city, then put it on Comedy Central. He still ain't funny, though. Player for life, my nigga AP said, Martin Lawrence made me laugh more than any other person on earth. Thanks to Martin Def Comedy Jam, many movies, and 2 dope stand-ups. Exactly. Isha Boo said, he was speaking a lot of truth, too, about Hollywood. Yeah, now that's what I was about to say next. And from New York said, Katt revealed the mansion parties. Yes. So when you hear somebody like Corey Holcomb talking about what he's seen in the industry and all this other type of shit that's going on, it's not that he's lying about it. It's just that it's really, it's some shit to talk about, to be able to talk about that shit in person and still live out there, because motherfuckers will try to get you touched if you try to expose them, or they just blackball you, period. Like I don't think Hollywood would ever try to do any harm or physical harm or anything like that to Corey Holcomb. They just find it easier to blackball him from the industry. Like it'll be easier to blackball these individuals from the industry than try to, do something else to these people, because you want to try to stop them before they get too much influence, before they really reach the masses. And then there's, Katt Williams Live. That was back in 2005, but Priceless Afterlife, that was the one. And then Great America, which was one of his most recent ones. That was in 2018. Did anybody see Great America? If you fuck with Katt, and for the people that are already saying Katt won this battle, did y'all see Prices, or did y'all see Great America? Excuse me. Q King said Katt Williams never sold out. Area said, yep, that Hollywood talk scared the industry from wanting to mess with him like they do Kevin. Exactly. Anarchy said the Def Comedy Jam where they brought everybody back like 20 years ago, Dave and DL, made me laugh the most. That I wish I could play on here if it wasn't on Netflix, because I would get a strike. But that was probably one of the funniest encounters I've ever seen, just off of it being just natural. Like, it was all natural shit, and it was a bunch of shit that kept falling into place, from the jokes. Fucking Dave, he couldn't keep straight. He wasn't able to talk on the prompter. He wasn't able to read. This motherfucker threw his microphone over to where Joe was, the singer Joe, to try to have him sing the Black National Anthem. he didn't want to do it. This nigga Dave got the microphone back. He said, damn it, Joe, can't you sing about something other than pussy for once? Niggas was dying. That's what I mean, like that off the dome, that quick shit. Like, it's like it captures you. Motherfuckers is just genuinely funny, man. They don't need a script, didn't need to write it down, just off the top, just genuine, naturally funny individuals. Great America was great, yes. Definitely a classic. When he said Trump came in with stormtroopers. Hey, one fast R, please go watch Great America, man. Hey, you want to know something? Because of how shit was going with Cat, I was almost hesitant to watch it because I was like, I don't know what mind state he'll be in. I don't know if it'll throw me off if he's not in his element. You know what I mean? And what I mean is like, if it seems like he feels off doing it, or if it seems like shit ain't landing because he's not comfortable doing the shit, Cat, it was like he didn't miss a beat. He was still on it, still using the physical comedy, still using his energy, still being able to perform and execute his jokes timely and perfectly. That's what makes somebody like that a legend, regardless of the shit that they went through. Now, you know what? We've talked about these specials, man. We talked about these specials. Let's get to what happened between these two. Can I play a video for y'all? We're going to play a video and let's talk about this because we're going to talk about how it started and where it is now. That's what I'm about to do. So listen up. We gonna play this right here.
According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, a rival is defined as one or two.
Sorry,
or
I gotta play this.
Something that only one can possess. Rivalries in sports and entertainment are nothing new. Two opposing forces wanting to be the best in their field and letting it be known. Kevin Hart and Katt Williams have not only dominated comedy, but they may in fact be behind the biggest rivalry in comedy history. In fact, this nearly 8-year feud could quite possibly see no definite ending for a number of reasons. But how did it even start? We have to go back to 2008. Katt Williams had just released his then new special entitled It's Pimpin' Pimpin'. This would take 6 years after audiences would first discover Williams in Friday After Next. At this time, Williams was quite possibly regarded as one of the hottest comedians in the world. Now, 2008 would become a noteworthy year for this feud, kind of a transition of power. You see, it is well documented that Hollywood has a history with pushing a single black stand-up comedian at a time. This method from a business lens is why we've seen one or two comedians land certain roles back to back. A star is made, created, carefully and cold-bloodedly built from nothing, from nobody. Louis B. Mayer, co-founder of MGM. Under this ongoing practice, we see how a rivalry can easily start to exist amongst black comedians. The seldom message is there. There only can be one.
Fair use,
king.
fair use.
According to Hart's book, I Can't Make This Up,
I got that in the
never
description
for his role in 2008's Fool's Gold. In fact, Katt Williams had landed the role, which was filming in Australia, but he ended up getting into some legal trouble and wasn't allowed to leave the country. The casting agents called my manager and said they needed a comedian as soon as possible to play a villain in the film named Big Bunny. And that's how Kevin originally landed the role. This casting change would mark as the first time people would publicly hear about a 5'5" Katt Williams and a 5'4" Kevin Hart being matched up against each other. Now, before Fool's Gold, Hart was quietly building and working behind the scenes. In 2003, the Philadelphia comedian would land Scary Movie 3, and in 2004, he would feature in Along Came Polly, landed a sitcom, which was quickly canceled, but would gain a starring role in his own film as Nishan in Soul Plane. Fast forward back to 2008.
Hold up. I have to ask the question. What do y'all genuinely think of Soul Plane? Do y'all count that as a cult classic? Is Soul Plane a cult classic to you guys? I need to know. And then I'll let you know what I think. Do y'all believe that Soul Plane is a cult classic movie? Did y'all enjoy the movie? Did y'all think it was stupid but you enjoyed it, or y'all just enjoyed it overall? I gotta know. It's asking the burning questions in everyone's mind tonight. He said, nope. No. Whack. Trash. Not at all. Trash. Nope. Absolutely not. It was trash, but I watched it more than once. Yeah, keep it real, Bad C. I don't know what these niggas talk about. Pops made it funny. My nigga stuck his fingers in the potato. He said, you ain't had no stinky pinky. He said, "Haroo, haroo, haroo." This nigga busted off of a baked potato. You enjoyed it, but it's not a classic. Yes, So Plain is a cult classic. I did enjoy it. It was stupid. Okay. I can attest to that. I agree.
Hollywood appears to have decided it was time to utilize Hart even more. After Fool's Gold, Hart would then share the screen with Eddie Murphy for Meet Dave that same year. And again, according to Hart in an interview with the Breakfast Club in 2012, Katt was supposed to be in that instead of him. I don't even think they said what the offer was. I was like, yup. The next year, he would then get pushed to release his first 1 hour special, I'm a Grown Little Man. Meanwhile, 2009 appears to be Katt's
he said he was walking in the bathroom. Pop said, "Player."
Despite releasing another notable special, Pimpadelic, Katt's relationship with Hollywood was slowed down. According to IMDb, Katt will only appear in one movie for the entire year, Young American Gangsters. His crown was now in jeopardy of being lost. In 2010, Hart would align with an all-star cast for Death at a Funeral. The film would feature Chris Rock, Tracy Morgan, and Martin Lawrence.
Now, y'all remember that movie, right? Now, let's talk about Hollywood always trying to throw a wrench in there. We talked about an agenda with certain agendas. Do y'all remember that movie, Death at a Funeral? What happened at the funeral that was a big shock to everybody? Do y'all remember? If y'all ever seen that movie, let me know.
Now, upon looking at this, one could see Katt Williams fitting into the equation of this movie's comedy lineup.
Facts,
Hart would
AP.
also land 3 other movies, which included Little Fockers. And that same year, Kevin would return with another comedy special, Seriously Funny. Meanwhile, Katt would release his special 9 Lives, but would only bring in 1 film credit for the entire year. For the next 2 years, Williams' roles in Hollywood would be close to non-existent. It was in 2013 that audiences would see Williams back in another notable role for Scary Movie 5. While doing press for the film, Williams would for the first time publicly acknowledge a rival between him and Hart. I don't have a problem with Kevin Hart. I never have, simply because I'm a fan of comedy and judge a person by what they bring comedically. If I am the king, then my crown is not supposed to be able to be worn by anybody else. So now, that doesn't mean that they're not going to try and put it on somebody else's head and walk him around and tell you that he is the king. But the crown won't match, and the crown is going to be too heavy for that baby boy. So now all I say is I want my crown back.
Let me read this in Katt's voice. He said, "So now, that doesn't mean that I'm sorry, I'm not going to try to speak like Katt. He said, so now that doesn't mean that they not going to try and put it on somebody's head and walk him around and tell you that he is the king, but the crown won't match and the crown is going to be too heavy for baby boy, a.k.a. Kevin Hart. So now all I say is I want my crown back. The comedy Lord giveth and he taketh away. Sign Pimpin'."
The comedy Lord giveth, and he taketh away.
That's right. Hey, if you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. If you want to catch more live streams every week, follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App if you are feeling generous. I will most appreciate it. Your boy would really, really appreciate it. Thank y'all, man.
Following year in 2014, a clip of Katt appeared on Vlad TV where he explained how he was able to pave the way for the Kevin Harts of the world. I told Kevin Hart's people how to make Kevin Hart because I don't mind competition. I'm really the greatest of all time, so I can build you to fight me. The rivalry was officially known, not from just Katt's words, but what both comedians bring to the stage. Katt's style of comedy speaks to a certain audience outside of the mainstream, those who care for truth. His topics mainly include politics, conspiracies, and a view of the hood today.
My bad,
On the other end, Kevin represents a more conservative perspective, one based on being the perfect example of a family man, stays away from politics, and other controversial topics, which Katt, on the opposite, has learned to embrace.
I will say this, Brimdog said, man, hard to trust media and rumors, or was it all staged or planned? You never know. Beef and drama sells. I would say that, but the thing is, Katt being such a genuine person and being as real as he is and as unfiltered as he is, he showed a lot of love in the industry. There's not many people that he's beefed with in his in his peers. Katt is he's really a person that and if you talk to people that have been around Katt, they say the same thing. He embraces a lot of people. He shows a lot of love to people. So it really has to be some shit for him to really say something about you. And I think, and I will say this, him being on top at one point as the top comedian, he was really hot at that time when he was dropping those specials early on. When he started to get into the trouble that he was getting into, it's safe to say that your ego gets a little bruised at that time too, because you have another comic, and not just another regular comic, another short-statured comic who everybody's kind of putting you up against. And then behind the scenes, like who knew behind the scenes back in the day that these two were up for the same roles and shit? You know what I mean? Like, we didn't know it until like way after. So it's like it's always some underlying shit. And if Kevin was continuously getting roles that they both were up for, I mean, that kind of will put a sour taste in some people's mouth. Now, it doesn't necessarily justify somebody going at somebody's neck, but if that's how somebody feels, that's just how he felt.
This rivalry is the ultimate good guy versus bad guy. In 2016, a group of women in Atlanta ran into Katt and asked for a picture after his show. According to the women, Katt quickly became irritated and verbally abusive. I said Kevin Hart funnier anyway, and that lit a fire under him. The next thing I know, he's charging at me. He actually hit me right here in my left temple and tackled me to the ground. We were tussling, I get kicked, and I got pulled. During that same show, Katt went on a rant about Kevin Hart. According to the Philadelphia Inquirer, Katt said even if the nigga's a puppet, it's not his fault. Don't be mad at Kermit the Frog. Be mad at Jim Henson. Don't say Donald Duck when you really mean Walt Disney. I don't care nothing about what happens to Kevin. I wish him the best. I just know that somebody's hand is stuck up that baby. Understand? We're at a puppet show, boo-boo. Please believe me, you're looking at the only thing that ain't.
Cap, you snapping, yo. He said,
now, I wish him the best. I just know that somebody's hand is stuck up that baby. Understand? Oh, we're a puppet show, are we, boo-boo? Please believe me, you're looking at the only thing that ain't. Signed, Pimpin'.
That ain't. That same weekend, Kevin seemed to have responded to Katt's comments with a humble brag. He posted a picture of himself on Instagram alongside Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock. Me and Dave Chappelle with our brother Chris Rock tonight at the Oscars. True professionals understand the importance of sticking together and supporting one another. It's about helping one another, not trying to tear each other down. The insecure ones will never understand that support and encouragement.
See, he tried to come back with the flex. Kevin tried to come back with the flex. He tried to do the humble flex. You know, let me post a picture with some legends and try to put an uplifting post to be like, yeah, I'm the bigger man. I am the better one. I am going to look better in everyone's eyes. I'm going to get the most likes and the most appreciation, and they're going to talk about me first and not you, Katt. So let me post this picture with Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. Two people who probably love Katt Williams too. So it wasn't really about that. It was just it was one of those little humble flex things that he was trying to do. But was Katt telling the truth? Was Katt telling the truth about
that
Kevin? What y'all think?
Katt didn't appear to be done. Katt
listen to this.
A video challenging Kevin to either a rap cipher, comedy battle, boxing, or basketball for $5 million.
This was before Versus was a thing. This is before there was any battles, anything like that within like this realm that we're in now with the Versus shit. Katt Williams called this man out. I hope y'all remember this. Listen up.
On that stage, we can put whatever you want. A full court basketball court, a boxing ring, 2 microphones for a rap cipher, or you can get your ass dusted in comedy on that stage. But it's $1 million up for each one. That's $5 million, Mr. 28 million in Forbes.
Katt was going to be in Kevin's hometown of Philadelphia for a show and was ready to settle the score. A few days later, Katt would be a guest on V103 in Atlanta and would go on to apologize to Kevin for the challenge. Katt said that he made a mistake, but didn't make a total mistake. He meant to cut the snake, but he meant to cut the head of the snake. That year, Katt wouldn't have any new credits, while Hart, on the other hand, will release his special, What Now?, along with several other films, and also starring in BET's Real Husbands of Hollywood. Years would go by, and the rivalry would get quiet as Kevin continued his run in Hollywood. Then, in 2018, Katt appeared on V103 again in Atlanta to support his comedy comrade, Red Grant. In the interview, Katt would criticize Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish, Lil Rel, Gerard Carmichael, and Hannibal Buress. Katt would imply that Kevin was not a true leading man and said he was picked. He would then go on to speak about owning his own comedy specials, which makes us point out the two also share different styles in how they conduct themselves in business.
Look, first of all, let me just say this. People really tried to count or try to write Katt Williams off as crazy back in certain times. They really tried to label him crazy for saying a lot of things that made a lot of sense. And that happens a lot, specifically with black entertainers. They try to make you look crazy for speaking for yourself. Think about that. They say you're crazy when you don't fall in line. Why is that? Why is that?
Kevin Hart has built a reputation for
I
himself
know
as
why.
a
I'm just
real
asking
deal
y'all.
businessman, closing deals and identifying opportunities to profit. Meanwhile, Katt appears to move a bit different to his own accord by not always expecting a return or profit from his contribution. In response to Katt's comments, Hart would appear on The Breakfast Club to directly address Katt. My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood and the white man, this and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot, you were the guy, you didn't show up to work, you effed up promo shoots, you became a risk to the studio, which is why the studio stopped effing with you.
He said that on The Breakfast Club. These are words of a person who falls in line. Don't let it fool you. Everybody makes their mistakes. Why do you think this man has comedy specials called Let Me Explain and Irresponsible? And why he went on apology tours for things that he said that he knows he meant and didn't want to apologize for. Don't let it fool you. Talking about he didn't show up for work. You fucked up promo shoots. You became a risk to the studio. These are probably a bunch of things that people were telling him. Because if you were as busy as Kevin Hart was at this time, there's no way you know Katt's schedule and the things that's happening to him unless people are telling you. Katt wasn't telling them. He wasn't having these conversations with Katt Williams by himself and saying Katt was telling him, yeah, I was fucking up promo shoots and I was fucking up the bag. They didn't want to work with me. I was too reckless. I was too much of a raw talent. No, that's not how it went. People were telling you because you were the competition. You wanted to know what was going on with Katt because you wanted to keep up with the competition. Trust me, these comedians know how funny everyone else is. They know when other comedians are funnier than them. They know when people fuck with comedians more than them. And I feel like it's always going to be that cloud over his head. Straight up.
Of course, Katt heard the message and went on Instagram Live to indirectly respond back to Kevin. I don't mind making $1 million a month and keeping my soul. While using that same Instagram account, Katt would later share a meme that took a direct jab at Hart for kissing The Rock in 2016 Central Intelligence. He would also let Hart know that they both can handle the matter physically. I was just in the gym and I'm headed to Mayweather's. I'ma knock your motherfucking mouth sideways, boy. I ain't Stephen A. Smith. I'm really out in these motherfucking streets, my nigga. Since 2018,
He said, "I'm not
Katt
Stephen
has
A."
gone on to win an Emmy for his role in Atlanta,
Hey, Stephen A. Katt said you pussy.
released a Netflix special, appeared on Blackish in 2019, and most recently Last OG in 2020. As far as Hart, he has continued to build out his resume with films like Jumanji, The Secret Life of Pets, and a comedy special with Netflix in 2019. This rivalry appears to have happened because of what we've seen in the past. Two different styles of comedy, an industry saying there only can be one, and the natural buildup of competition, which is why Kevin Hart versus Katt Williams may never be over.
Ha, ha, it may never be over. You want to know why it may never be over? Because recently Katt said this.
I started Versus. Not come to me with Versus. The first Versus ever promoted was Steve Harvey versus Katt Williams. It was the underground king of comedy Versus and sold as Versus. So we don't need to ask me if I would have any interest in things that I am the originator of. Comedically beefing is my lane. It's almost cheating for me. I have over 10 specials, so I don't have to pick but 2 jokes from each special, and I've already deaded anybody whose last name ain't Pryor.
Do y'all agree with that? Do y'all agree with that? He said he has 10 specials, so all he has to do is take 2 jokes from each special, and then it's over for everybody. And please believe me, I know he put Steve Harvey in a body bag because Steve Harvey can't touch Katt Williams. And Steve Harvey is a king of comedy. Or they call him a king of comedy. First of all, let me not do that. I don't fuck with Steve Harvey, but Steve Harvey was funny back in the day. But he isn't touching Katt Williams. Matter of fact, what y'all think about this? Because not only was Katt and Kevin into it with each other, but Kevin was also into it with Mike Epps. What about that's a nice little hard left for y'all real quick. Who do you think would win in the versus battle between Mike Epps and Kevin Hart? Who's got more timeless jokes? Who's more funnier? Naturally funny. And I agree, Bernie Mac was the king. And they all gave it up to that nigga too. They all made sure they let it be known that they put Bernie on last because then nobody want to go after him. So if y'all want to know who the real king of comedy was on the King of Comedy, you already know. It's my man Bernie Mac, rest in peace. That's man, I'm telling you right now, that's one comedian that I wish was still alive today. The way, and I see a lot of Mike Epps too. I see a lot of Mike Epps in the chat. The way Bernie was funny back then on the Bernie Mac show, imagine how much more funny he would be right now as an older man. Bernie Mac would be hilarious. Imagine the shit he'd be talking about right now. Imagine Bernie Mac with a motherfucking Instagram account and just giving you once a week just a Instagram video of what he think about what's going on right now. Jesus Christ, man, he'd be one of the most famous people on Instagram, hands down. All the way. There was nobody that wanted to touch Bernie Mac because, like I said, there's the comedians that go by the book and that go by we got to get everybody in the room and we got to make sure we structure this right. And then there's Bernie Mac, who is a naturally funny ass dude who can go up there and freestyle. He's one of those people where you can hand him the mic. You can hand him the microphone somewhere random. Not even it's not even his set. It's not even a part of his day. You hand him the microphone, it's over. He killed it. That's the type of person that is. And a lot of people say, now let's get back to Katt and Kevin. A lot of people say that success makes you better than the other person. But right now we are talking about comedy. We're talking about your comedic ability. This is where we're going to ask the question now. So if you're here right now, if you're just now tuning in, first of all, appreciate you guys for tuning in and being in the chat. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Follow me on my socials as you see right here. I follow everybody back. Hit the Cash App if you are feeling generous and if you are enjoying the show and enjoying what you see. GMS family, welcome all the new people in here. The chat is called The Green Room, so make sure you get that right. We come here, we blaze a few, and we have great conversations. Now, we got to get to the question because this is where the vote comes in. Everybody in the chat, I need to know who is the better comedian, Kevin Hart or Katt Williams? Put your vote in right now. And then we'll talk about some of the greats too. I want to talk to y'all about some of the greats if y'all want to talk about that, because I would definitely want to hear some of y'all greats. But I need the vote right now. We need to hear the vote. Who is funnier? Who is the better comedian? Katt Williams or Kevin Hart? Put it in the chat right now. We need the votes. We need the votes. Then we're gonna talk about some legends. We got Katt. 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 Katt. One for Kevin. Katt. 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 Niggas is all saying Katt. I saw one Kevin, man. I don't know how to. I was looking on how to do a poll. I don't know how to fucking do a poll, man. I don't know how to put a poll up, man. I don't know how to do a poll, guys. And from New York knows how to do that shit. I don't know how to do it. Do I got to go to my fucking settings or something? How the fuck do I do a poll? Who's the... He said precise. There's a lot of cats in the chat. Katt is getting the love he deserves. I will say that much. I only see one thing, man. I don't see nothing else. I don't see no poll section, man. I'm so confused. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I really don't know how to do it. But I see enough cats to know that Katt won that motherfucker. What did AP say? What did he say? AP, you drunk. What did he say? I gotta go back to the top. You said AP. Who's now after you guys just labeled that, now let's talk about who are some of the greatest comedians of all time. Without using Katt Williams or Kevin Hart, who are some of the greatest comedians of all time? I want to know who y'all say. I want to shout them out as well. Let's give our legends their flowers, whether they're here or not. Yes, Katt Williams was great in Atlanta, and I can't wait for the next season of Atlanta. That was amazing. We got Bernie. They said Ryan Davis. Ryan Davis is really hilarious. Shout out to the 85 South Boys too, man. Carlos Miller, Chico Bean, DC Young Fly. Those are some of the funniest dudes on the planet. Robin Harris for sure. Rest in peace. Bruce, Dave Chappelle, Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Shucky Ducky, Dave Chappelle, Pryor, Deion Cole, Eddie Murphy, Patrice O'Neal. Rest in peace to the guard. He was somebody that would have definitely been a problem today. He would not have bent to the motherfucking rules of anybody telling him, hey, you need to follow by, you need to be politically correct. Oh, they would have hated Patrice O'Neal. Corey Holcomb, of course. Corey is a fucking phenomenal comedian. Wonderful comic. G-Thang. TK Kirkland, Ralphie May, RIP. Yes, RIP to Ralphie May. That dude was funny. He said quack quack. R.I.P. A.J. Johnson. Jim Carrey. Bill Burr. Yeah, Bill Burr is a funny motherfucker, man. That's another dude that don't give a fuck about cancel culture either. Craig Smith. George Carlin. Tony Baker. Somebody said Deion Cole already. Yep, they said that. Hamburger. Adele Givens. Some more. You right. Got to give it up to the ladies, man. Got to give it up to the ladies. D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, Tom Segura. Yes, I started watching Tom Segura recently. He's funny as hell. Tony Roberts. Arnez J. Tommy Davidson Jr. We got Colin Quinn. Jamie Foxx. Yeah, Jamie Foxx definitely has a legendary special out there. He still gets talked about with some of his specials. Motherfuckers be forgetting that Jamie Foxx was a comic too. Chris Farley, Mitch Hedberg. Of course, Martin Lawrence. Sinbad. Nigga said Amy Schumer. Somebody flushed that down the toilet. Norm Macdonald, rest in peace. Paul Mooney. Yes, Paul Mooney. The Wayans as a collective. I'm gonna say the Wayans as a collective because without not even just stand up, like let's just say like them as a family, them as a comedic family, they're untouchable as a family. Like that's a family unit that understood the assignment. We all got to make it the fuck up out of here. We all gonna be funny. We all gonna make this shit work. All our names are gonna ring bells through the entertainment industry. Ain't no way we ain't gonna make money for the rest of our lives. The Wayans family, some of the smartest individuals on earth. Eddie Griffin, yes. Fu Quan, shout out to Fu Quan, man. Rest in peace to him. Ricky Smiley. Bob Saget. Scruncho. Red Grant. Bill Bellamy. He said Scruncho can get the fuck out of here. Godfrey, yes, Godfrey for sure. Wanda Sykes. Damn, y'all naming some real heavy hitters right now. Freeze Love. Shout out to Freeze, man. Rodney Dangerfield. Who else, man? Trying to think. D-Ray, yeah, D-Ray is pretty funny. Godfrey needs a lot more respect. Bro, why hasn't nobody said Michael Blackson? Michael Blackson's fucking hilarious. Mike Epps is the god. Michael Blackson is so fucking funny. Red Fox. Wonder Man said Flame Monroe. Flame Monroe is fucking hilarious too. Flame Monroe is so fucking funny, man. There's no way that you can sit and watch a Flame interview and not laugh. I'm telling you right now. Like, all the bullshit aside, there's no way that you can sit there and watch Flame for an hour or 30 minutes and not laugh. Flame is hilarious. Monique, Arsenio Hall. He said Chris Rock. Jay Farrell. Jay Farrell's pretty funny. Charlie Barnett. AP. AP, you ain't put enough work yet, cuz. Lavelle Crawford. I just watched the Lavelle Crawford special the other day, man. He's very funny. The Gooey Raccoon. Okay. Nigga said Carrot Top. Yeah, Lavelle is great, man. Yeah, we already talked about the 85 South Boys, man. They kill it. Patrice O'Neal will honestly be so dangerous to Hollywood. He would have already been the Corey Holcomb of today's, like, of what we know now. If he would have started a podcast, it would have been matter of fact, let's ask that question. How about this? Let's be controversial. If Patrice O'Neal was still alive today and he started a podcast, which one would be more popular, Patrice O'Neal or Corey Holcomb's? Sorry to put these two up against each other. I know that they would have definitely had a lot of love for each other. And I know Corey Holcomb loves Patrice O'Neal and shows him a lot of love. But we have to ask this question for comedy's sake and for the fact that we love Patrice O'Neal and we also fuck with Corey Holcomb. Which one do you think will be a better show to watch? Okay, I see two Patrice, two Corys. Patrice was killing Corey. Oh, okay. He said, don't do that. No, I have to ask, man. I have to ask. That's why I put the disclaimer out there, man. I had to put the disclaimer out there because they're both great comedians. They're both amazing. But I gotta ask, man, just for controversy's sake. We doing a show right now. Yeah, they said that's a tough call. We definitely watch both. We would definitely watch both. Matter of fact, here's a better question. How about that? I'm not gonna ask which one is better. Which one would be taken off the air first? Which one would be the one to be taken off YouTube first? Patrice or Corey? Which one would have been more vulgar, more raw with their content for them to get taken down? That's a better question. How about that? Because both them guys have great shows, and I think that they both would have, both them guys would have had great shows. If Patrice was still alive, he would have had a wonderful podcast if he would have made one. But which one? Yeah. What you think? He said Patrice. Patrice was a loose cannon, wasn't he? That man went in. Yeah, definitely Patrice. Definitely Patrice. Patrice probably would have said fuck YouTube in the first week, man. If that was the case, Patrice would have went crazy. You said Corey would have went first because Patrice has more wisdom. Oh, okay. Let's see. He said Patrice hung out with a lot of whites. Yeah, I know Patrice had a podcast, but I'm talking about like if it was still going on today. Like Patrice would have had a show going on today. That's what I mean. Joey Diaz is a funny guy. Joey Diaz is also a funny guy. I fuck with Joey Diaz for sure. For sure. Also, shout out to In Living Color for birthing shit like Mad TV and SNL. Let's keep it real. Can we keep it all the way 100 and funky with you motherfuckers tonight? In Living Color birthed those shows. If it wasn't for In Living Color, you wouldn't see none of that shit. And if it wasn't for In Living Color, there would be no Jim Carrey. One of the funniest motherfuckers alive and one of the realest motherfuckers alive. One of the realest white men alive. Jim Carrey. Y'all wouldn't know who Jim Carrey was. There wouldn't be no goddamn, none of that if it wasn't for In Living Color. So I wanted to make sure I gave Living Color their flowers while I had the chance. Did I say? I didn't mean to say SNL. I meant to say Mad TV and what was the other one? There was it was not SNL. It was Mad TV and fucking what was the other one? There was another one. Let me know. I always get SNL and the other one mixed up, but it was Mad TV and another show. And they went off the same exact formula as In Living Color. And no J-Lo. Whoa. We would have been deprived. And we would have been deprived of the fucking Wayans. We would have been deprived of the Wayans. Imagine if we didn't have the Wayans. We wouldn't have a lot of shit. The first parody movie I ever watched in my life was don't be a menace to society while drinking your orange juice in the hood. That is a cult classic. If you talk about a cult classic movie, I would rather watch Don't Be a Menace 100 times over watching Soul Plane once. Have I ever watched Damon Wayans stand up? I need to watch more of them. I'll probably watch one in my lifetime. He's getting butt naked on the dance floor. Look at them freaks on the dance floor. The niggas was really on the dance floor. Fucking. I did fuck the whole title up because it's so fucking long and it's like, how the fuck do you say it? But people already know. That people already know what's going on. I am love 777. She said 127 people. Child, please. I'm out. Nobody invited you. Lanita Pittman, we got the same last name. She said, I love Kevin, but Katt Williams is my dude. I watch his old shit over and over. Still funny. Yet Katt will always have timeless specials. And that's, matter of fact, that's exactly where I'm gonna put this at. Katt is somebody who will always stand the test of time. All his stand-ups will be timeless. He has way more classic stand-ups than Kevin. I will say that Kevin is definitely a talented comedian. He's definitely in the run with the GOATs. He's not in my top 5, but I know that he is in a few. And I respect both of their comedic geniuses, whether they have a table full of writers or not. I respect both of them as hardworking black men. And that's where we're gonna put it at, man, because this is the GMS show and we all about spreading positivity. If you don't know what GMS means, it stands for Green Mind State. That's all positive shit, all positivity, everything good out here. So if you rep that, then you support GMS, you support me, and you support the chat, the green room. That's what the chat is called, the green room. So for those of y'all who are new here, this is what we do for the end of the show. For those that didn't participate in the chat, now is your time. What we do is everybody puts a GMS in the chat, and I shout out every single person who puts GMS in the chat. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. We're going to end with a beat made by GMS. That's what we're going to do. Oh, y'all didn't know I made beats? You gotta do your Googles, man. Let these people know. We got my socials over here. Follow me on my socials. I follow back. Hit the Cash App if you are feeling generous. Shout out to everybody that entered the chat today. Y'all already know what's up, GMS fam. Everybody put a GMS in the comments right now. I'm finna shout everybody out. Let's go. Shout out to my guy, Brim Dog, Wonder Man, Ben Slim, AP, Player for Life. Y'all go follow, go subscribe to Player for Life, man. And go subscribe to the 3Gs podcast. Those are my guys, and I'll be over there with them as well, chopping it up with them about some great topics. Y'all make sure y'all go support Black Man America, Arius Allen, Mickey Knox, Ralph S. Who else in here, man? T-Fan 1, High Def, Lady Aries, Marilyn Barris, Don Philly, and Arky 6T9, Jeremy Tackett, Taya Hansen, what up, my niece? What up, my niece? T. Gill, Pack World, Kicks in the building, Ty Ward, Myra O, I see you, Queen, Aboriginal T, The One, Isha Boo, Prophylactic Tactics, Jason Voorhees with the motherfucking machete and the spaghetti. We got who else in this motherfucker, man? I see y'all with the GMS's, Aboriginal T. We got Gemini in the building, Love Lace, Lanita Pittman. We might be cousins. Martini, Rossi, Wade Bird, Monica Salter, AJ Beat It Up, Pause, Mr. Watt. What's going on, Mr. Watt? Reality Watch, Trauma in the building. Reed G in the building. I see you, Queen. What up, Sugar Man? I see you in the building. Bad Seed ENT. And from New York, y'all can catch me over there too. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to that guy as well. He's very entertaining. Very entertaining. Brandy in the building. J.R. Miller, you see that tweet? Hey, y'all see that? Y'all see that post he just put up? Y'all see that tag? Y'all better go click that link right now because you're going to hear a lot more of these beats that I got playing right now on that. I do a lot of samples, so I can't play those beats on here. So if you want to hear some exclusive shit, you got to click that link, the Bandcamp link. And then also I got GMS merch right there. You see the link down there, Green Mind State Shop, where you can get the GMS jerseys. I got GMS t-shirts. I got GMS rolling trays. I got GMS baseball jerseys, basketball jerseys. And I got some more things coming up too. So make sure y'all fuck with GMS, man. What up, Tradarius? Tradarius, is that how you said Tradarius or Tradarius? I don't know. I'm gonna say Tradarius like a nigga. What up, Tradarius? Tradarius. Hey, like I said, man, this is the GMS show. What up, K Hill? Kale Hill. Sugar Bear in the building. Hey. Thank y'all, man. Hey, look, like I said, support GMS, man. You know we out here with the weekly streams, weekly shows every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes on other days. Who knows how I'm feeling? But that's how we do. What up, KP? Follow me on my socials. I'll follow everybody back. Hit the cash. I'll be feeling generous. GMS family, Green Room. We are out. I'll see y'all Friday.